So now we get to talk about the really fun stuff, bad habits. And the good news is we're really not going to spend a lot of time talking about bad habits, because what you focus on will grow. And I didn't create a PowerPoint because I want you to experience this. And anybody who wants notes afterwards, I'm happy to send you a PDF of all of the different exercises and the steps. But I really want you to give this, I want you to learn this in your bodies today. All right? So what you focus on grows. And if you focus on your bad habit, you get more of your bad habit. Let me give you an example. I recently lost a considerable amount of weight, which I'm, not through a lot of work. And I strong-armed myself with most of the stuff, except for my very special relationship to popcorn, about 10 o'clock at night. And we're not talking modest little handfuls of popcorn. We're talking like popcorn, and then more popcorn, and then more popcorn. So let me show you what didn't work. To say, okay, no more. I am not doing that anymore. This is the last. Tomorrow I'm starting anew. And then tomorrow comes. Today I am not eating popcorn. I am not going to have that popcorn later tonight. I'm not even thinking about popcorn. I'm driving home, but I'm not going to talk about popcorn to myself because I've given up popcorn. Crunchy, salty, delicious popcorn. Oh, look, it's getting close to 10 o'clock. I'm sure glad I'm not having popcorn. And all day long, what have I been thinking about? Popcorn. And guess what I'm eating come 10 o'clock at night? Yeah. So saying no and fighting ourselves in terms of the habits just doesn't work. Now, we know what habits do. What do they do? Tell me some things that you know your habits do to you. What? They distract you? Yes. What else? Yes, they make you feel guilty and terrible about yourself. They distract you. They what? They stress you out. They take a lot of energy.
They stop you from doing your thing.
Yes. They actually stand between you and stepping fully into your full potential. And so how are we going to work with these habits? And I think there's a way and it's the same way that we work with a lot of other things at the studio with my clients. You start by owning where you're at and actually embodying it and acknowledging it and allowing it just for a moment. Because if you pretend that something's not going on and you keep trying to put something on top of it, usually what happens is whatever you're pushing down just keeps coming up, right? What we resist persists. So it's 3 steps to a bad habit, changing into a good habit. You start by acknowledging the habit. Then there's a special technique I'm going to show you in which you can move through the habit to create a new habit to take its place. Does that sound like a really delicious idea? And here's the truth about habits. The definition of a habit, we know what they do to us, but what are they? A habit is something you practice repeatedly until it becomes involuntary. That's all it is. These things that we're battling, and it's just something we've practiced for such a long time that it's just second nature to us. So I'm going to show you a little demonstration, and if you want to sit for just a minute, you can. You're going to be back up in a second, but I'm going to ask my associate, Mary Nell, to come up, and I'm going to show you how this works. So this is Mary Nell Spence. She is my associate producer on the film and my business partner. And I've asked her to demonstrate. So
I had to come up with a bad habit. I really didn't have any, so I had to make some up.
Yeah, she worked a long time to think up one. Yeah. So what is a bad habit that you would like to move through?
I've noticed that when I'm in a meeting or speaking with someone who I deem is really important, someone that I really respect and want to impress, instead of speaking my mind, saying what I really think, if I get upset, if I disagree, if I have an opinion, I'll just smile and nod and swallow it and then be really upset about it later that I didn't really show my genuine self and my true feelings and my thoughts. Show
But
myself
now,
that.
that's interesting, isn't it? Because oftentimes we don't think of that as a habit. We think of eating bad stuff as a habit or smoking as a habit, but they're actual emotional habits that we have. And once we realize they're habits, we're actually free because we can begin to play with it. So here we are in a meeting, somebody's really important, we respect them, and we find that instead of stepping up to the plate with all that we are, we just sort of keep ourselves quiet, we push ourselves down, we're afraid to take a chance, we're afraid of making mistakes. I loved the things that I heard. Anybody identify with this at any point? Yes? All right, so here's what it's gonna look like. It's great to talk about it and it's great to think about it, but how do we change it? It's great to say, I want to be confident, but how do I suddenly step into my confidence so that I can walk with it and breathe with it and express myself and interact with it? So we're going to start with where you're at, and you have to be willing to get to know and embrace what that habit feels and looks like. So first, let's look at the behavior itself. Show me a little demonstration of what the behavior looks like.
Yes, I'm listening and I'm nodding, and wow, I really don't agree with that at all, and I would like to say something very different, but that might be inappropriate at this time, or it might upset this person, so I'm just gonna keep it to myself and act like I totally agree.
And that's the way the behavior goes. Now, can you find a way, and this is when we go below a thinking place, because thinking, we can think until we're blue in the face, and then all we've done is think. Can you go to the place where your feelings and the energy that's connected with that habit, what's going on the inside for you when you do that?
It's just,
And put it in your body, sound and physicality. Good. And then after you've done that bad habit, how do you feel? What's the energy? Yes. Good. Anybody identify with that experience? So, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to allow it, and then what you're going to do is you're going to put your hands on your heart or wherever you feel the energy and just say, thank you, bad habit. Thank you. I don't get you, and I don't know why this comes up, but we've been together a really long time, and you've served some purpose, and I don't need to know what it is, but thank you, yes, you did it again, thank you.
Thank you, bad habit. You've really been with me a long time. Thanks for all you've done for me, whatever that was.
Right, because if we went, no, stop it, all you do is this, right? I used to have an acting teacher that would go, relax! And we'd all be going, it doesn't work to hate your habit. So you're just gonna go, okay, thank you, that's interesting. Now we're gonna move through it. So what you're gonna do is you're physically gonna take it off of your body. You're gonna imagine taking it off of your body, and you're gonna put it in front of you like it's this big Jell-O wall. This big wall of gelatin called my bad habit. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna poke your arms through that wall, and literally you're just gonna step through it to the other side of the habit. So the habit is behind you for just a moment. And see what it feels like to be out in wide open space, not having to do the bad habit. And again, sound and physicality. Even if you do it a little bit, your body's going to start to go, oh, so what does it sound and feel like?
Oh, it's free.
Yeah. Now, that's terrific, but we need a new habit to take its place. We need to bring something in that's going to replace the So what might a new habit be that you could actually practice physically? What would you like to have happen in those meetings? What would you like to have happen with the important people instead of I'm smiling and nodding and not speaking?
I would like to be confident and truthful and genuine with just being who I am and trusting that and being empowered.
Good. Confident, genuine, authentic, truthful. All right. So that's a great idea, but how do you translate that into your body? I can't just go, be confident, go. Okay. So what I want you to do is find the gesture or it's like a dance, your own personal gesture that would start to embody what it felt like to be confident. So maybe confidence would look like pulling all of this like sense of power around you and standing in your power for a minute. And just do that for a second. Ha.
Ha.
Ha. Ha. Or really genuine and authentic, where you open yourself up and you give yourself away freely. Ha. Wow. To be able to just give myself away. Or to be really rooted and to stand.
Ha.
Or maybe all three. So put them all three together.
Ha. 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 Ha.
Good.
Feels good.
Now, you're not doing this during your meeting. You're like, something happened to the women of Mattel. They crossed over and they didn't come back. But I can promise you that if you can identify and physicalize the bad habit transforming into the new habit, you practice this at home. You clear your space at home. You suddenly find yourself shrinking and you go to the bathroom stall and you re-empower yourself, and then you come walking out and they're like, wow, that was a good trip to the bathroom. I don't know what happened there. And you start to practice it to the point where all you have to do is put one foot down and you remind yourself of what you really want to be doing. But you can't start at the end, you have to start at the beginning. Does this make sense? So now it's your turn. Everybody stand up. So what I want you to do, close your eyes for a minute. My brave soldiers, close your eyes and just check in with yourself and take the first thing that comes up. I want you to pick one bad habit that you would love to transform. One bad habit that it would be great if we could work on all of them simultaneously, but it's not going to happen. So just pick one. And take the first one that came up. You might go, well, that's a stupid one, but trust me, your system is wise. Your body is wise. So does everybody have a bad habit that you'd like to explore? Okay, so here's what you're going to do. Give yourself a little room and spread out. And I know you're sitting there going, or standing there going, no, I'm not going to do what Mary Nell did. That was like, she's an actress. No, here's the truth. I had a business executive on Wall Street, and she was part of the Good Old Boys Club. She was the only woman with all of these men. And she basically she was invisible for a very long time. And she started working with me, and she started doing these exercises. She's like, I don't care what I have to do. If I have to stand on my head and sing the Star Spangled Banner and eat a hot dog, just tell me what I need to do, because I can't continue to be in this club where I'm the invisible member of the group. And she had this presentation. So she started doing these exercises. And we have a whole series of wonderful exercises in which you take things to an outrageous manner. She had the presentation, and the presentation that was usually over early because people had their heads on their desks because they couldn't bear it. It went into overtime. The gentleman followed her down the hall and said, where did that come from? And within 3 months, she was promoted. And suddenly, she wasn't invisible anymore. So you get to decide if you want to create a role that you'd really like to play in your life. And it starts by being willing to own the habit and change it into something powerful. So here's what I want you to do. Pick the habit that you want to work on, and as if you're doing a little scene, I want you to act out, overact the habit. I'm smiling, or I'm like lethargic, or I'm like crazy nervous and I can't function. But I want everybody to suddenly just break into wild acting moment and show me what your behavior looks like. Go, just do it. Let me see it. I want to see the bad habits. And use your sound. Use sound as well. Yes, yes. These are familiar. Yes. Good. Good. All right, so take a moment. And now what I want you to do is I want you to actually use the sound and physicality and energy of what it feels like when you're doing it. Not your judgment of it, but what it feels like. So it's like, ah, and I want you to get really loud. Do it. What does it feel like, the energy? Oh, yeah. Oh, I hate this habit. Oh, ha. Good. Did everybody feel the energy of it for just a moment? Yes? All right, good. So now what you're going to do is take a moment and say, thank you. Thank you. I'm not sure why I'm thanking you, except Elizabeth said I had to. But thank you, because you've served me in some way, and now it's time for us to change. Thank you. Did everybody genuinely say thank you? Because your habit's listening. All right. Now what you're going to do is I want you literally where you are to take it off your body. Imagine peeling it off your body and putting it, and you may need to back up if you're right against a chair, because you're going to need to move a little bit or turn in a different direction. Good. So everybody has some place to go. And put it in this wall in front of you, like this big gelatin wall called My Bad Habit. I know this habit well. Here it is. But the good news is it's Jell-O. It's not concrete. Now, are you ready to move through it? So what you're going to do is take both arms, push it through, both arms, use both arms, and climb through to the other side of the habit for just a moment with it behind you. And for just a moment, let out a sound of what it would be like for that to be behind you. Ha! Whoa! Wow! And now I want you to find the new habit that you're going to start to practice that's going to take its place. So it might be, I'm going to take that same energy that I was doing that with, and I'm going to like go, ha. And I'm going to give you some things to try out for size. Pull energy down and really put it into the ground. Ha. Really with power. Let's do it again. Ha. Good. Oh, I can feel that. One more time. Ha. Good. Or let's open ourselves up and start to share freely of our gifts. Ha. And really imagine sending your energy forward. Ha. Oh, nice. Good. Turn to somebody and send your energy forward. Ha. Beautiful. Beautiful. Ha. Good. Absolutely. Good. Or pull energy up into the ceiling and give yourself this whole new alive sense. So reach down, pull your energy up. Whoa! Oh, wouldn't it be great to feel like that throughout the day? Let's do that again. Whoa! Good. So now what I want you to do is just for a moment, I want you to pick, and it could be all three of those, but I want you to pick the new habit that you're going to actually start to practice. It's like a dance, and we're moving from one dance step to the next. So everybody find your own gesture for just a minute, because I've given you mine, but you need to find yours, and it has to be physical. Don't think about it, just do it. Jump in. I want to see the new habits, what they're going to look like. Sound. Oh, nice. And sound is good. Sound is good. It's primitive. Good. And really make it big. Whatever it is, make it big. Don't make it little. Beautiful. Excellent. Excellent. So, does everybody have what they're going to practice? Can I see a show of hands? Do you know what you're going to practice? All right, good. So now we're going to practice. So get back on the other side of the wall. Oh, no, I don't want to. Go back to the other side of the wall. And we're going to practice. All right, do your bad habit on this side of the wall, because trust me, it will come up again. So do the bad habit the way you know it. Good, good. And let out a sound about how you feel when you do the bad habit. And really let yourself feel it. Good. And now what are we going to do? Thank you. Thank you. Here you are again. Look at that. You showed up in the next minute. Thank you. All right. I've heard you. I've seen you. You're like the little kid that keeps going until you pay attention. Okay. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take it off your body, literally climb out of that energy and put it in a big wall in front of you. There it is, my bad habit wall. But we know that we're going to do something with it. Push your arms through, step through to the other side of that wall with it behind you, and start to bring in the new habit that you're going to practice, and do it with sound and physicality. Ha, ha, ha. Good, good. Can you feel the difference between the two places? Is there anybody who can't feel the difference? Because if you tell me you can't, you're going to come up here and I'm going to help you. Oh no, we can feel it, we can feel it. Good, we're going to practice one more time, because what you're doing is you're anchoring this so that when the old habit comes up, it becomes a friendly reminder to practice your new habit. So get back on the other side of the wall one more time. One more time. Now really don't shortchange yourself. Do the old habit the way you always do it. Good. And now the sound of how you feel when you do it. Good. And now what are we going to do? Thank you. Thank you. Look at you. You're so persistent. Thank you. Good. And now you're going to take it off your body. You're going to put it on that wall in front of you, because it feels like a wall sometimes, doesn't it? And then with commitment, you're going to push your arms through and step to the other side of the wall and see what it feels like to be out in the fresh open air. And now with a vengeance, I want you to practice the new habit. Sound and physicality, big and bold. Let me hear it. Ha, ha, ha. Good. And now what I want you to do is turn to somebody. Yes, turn to somebody. Everybody's like, oh my God, I've got to look at someone. I've got to look at someone with my new habit. And for just a moment, this is the final risk. There won't be any bigger risks than this one. Do your new habits to one another. Show each other. Sound effect. Yes. Ha. Yes, look at each other. Ha. 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 Excellent. Excellent. You are so brave. You are so brave.